While there's no explicit connection between The Dark Tower and The Handmaid's Tale, both stories do contain a Gilead. In The Handmaid's Tale, the rise of Gilead is a terrible thing, to say the least. Whereas in the Dark Tower world, it's the fall of Gilead that's a bad thing, which portends an apocalypse in Midworld. In the Dark Tower world, Gilead is known as the last bastion of civilization, because it's the home of the affiliation, an aristocracy led and protected by gunslingers. The fall of Gilead can be attributed to John Farson, ironically known as the Good Man. John Farson's farcical propaganda centers on equality and democracy, but his actions run completely counter to his rhetoric, which allows him to exploit the anger and alienation of a society that's all out of balance. Men like Hacks the Cook follow Farson because he believes he's the second coming of the man Jesus, whereas men like Eldred Jonas, who know Farson is dangerously insane, follows him out of a desire for profit. To clear up any confusion for Dark Tower readers, Farson is the one who hired the Big Coffin Hunters, who ultimately failed their mission to acquire oil for John Farson's war machines. Still, 20 months later, Farson was able to lead the attack on Gilead, defended only by Roland Duchesne and a handful of gunslingers uncorrupted by Farson's propaganda. In the end, Gilead's defenses weren't nearly enough to defend against Farson's tanks and bazookas, and Farson's army of slow mutants and blue barbarians stormed the gates and sacked the city. As Roland and his friends escaped through the city sewers, Farson's flag was hoisted by Martin Broadcloak, otherwise known as Randall Flagg. And as you can see by the sigil on this flag, Farson was but a pawn in the Crimson King's larger endgame, for the fall of Gilead precipitated the first beam quake, meaning one of the 6 beams holding up all of existence had fallen. So while the rise of this Gilead seems to warn against a merging of church and state, the fall of this Gilead seems to warn against a perversion of truth itself.